What's up? This is Joe from the Buckeye Cast, bringing you player interviews from Wednesday night. That's right, get to know your Buckeyes. First off, we have JT Tui Moloau, then punter Jesse Mirco, then J.K. Johnson, Josh Proctor, Jyaire Brown, Matthew Jones, Ronnie Hickman, and finishing up with Taron Vincent. Here is JT.
JT, just where do you feel like, 1 month into the season, how do you feel like this defense is performing so far?
I feel like we're doing great. Still, there's a lot of things we can fix, but I think the path we're on right now, if we just stay the course and keep our head down and stay working, we can keep leveling up.
You know what it's like to play immediately as a freshman. What have you seen from Jair Brown that allowed him to step in and play as well as he did on Saturday?
Oh, man, we've seen that from fall camp. Jair has just always been in the time. He always wants to learn. He's always looking to learn more, and he's never stopped. He's always looking to grow. And yeah, that's a dog. You guys seen it. And he's just going to continue to do his thing and keep going.
JT, why'd you stop wearing the tape on the face mask? Like Sean Taylor?
They got mad because they had to clean it off all the time.
Do you feel like as a DN, too much value can sometimes be placed on sacks, and whether or not a defensive end is being productive or not?
Yeah, it can get like that sometimes, but like Coach Jay says, just do your job and just let the game come to you. There's more things DNs have to do than just get sacks. Sacks do get paid, but you got to just do your job and let it come.
So, going back to the Toledo game, there were a couple times where it seemed like you had a fan. And then he just kind of made a play, and now he's kind of out of there. What do you learn from situations like that when you're dealing with maybe a little bit more of a mobile quarterback where you did everything right, and yet you still didn't end up with the sack?
Yeah, credit to Finn. He's a great athlete, and just the things you learn from that game is just angles and just angles, and with someone like that, you just gotta be ready.
Is it frustrating in that moment though? It's just like you think you did all that work, and he just basically made it seem kind of you right.
Yeah, but at the same time, we just gotta move on to the next play and just learn from it.
JT, is when Coach Jay evaluates it, has he thought that the pressure has been at the level you guys need to provide, or what are those? Setting aside the sacks, has the pressure been an allowable amount in his room?
Yeah, it's just Coach Jay always preached, just do your job and trust in your brothers. The front four. We have to set the tone, and we got to trust each other, hold that ball, and just trust the coaches and Coach Jay. Like I said, you just do your job. Simple as that.
I know he's always asking for more. Does it seem like he's pleased with the way that's going through the first 4 weeks?
Yeah, but like all of us in Coach Jay, there's always room for improvement. No matter how well we did, how bad we did, but there's always things we can grow upon.
It does seem like there's a lot of times where you guys as defensive ends are, maybe helping the other guys around you make plays. Is that something that you've always been comfortable with, or do you kind of have to embrace that sometimes your job isn't to make the play yourself, but to help your teammates make a play?
Oh, no, there's 11 of us out there, and my brother makes a play, we all make the play. It's just we all got to work together. It can't be a one-man show. It's all of us. We all got to do our job.
JT, I've been meaning to ask you because we get this question a lot. Do you prefer going by JT or by Jalen?
I'm cool with either or, except for JTT.
That's what I thought, but sometimes I get people that they're like, he doesn't want to be called JT.
Yeah. I'm just cool with JT or Jalen. It doesn't matter.
Obviously, you, Mike, Talik, and Jack all stand in those third down situations. It's you four guys out there. You just four as a tandem, how have you seen you guys develop this year and maybe be a little bit more ready for the game and put you guys in these positions to be able to make impacts like this?
You talking about like how we can get more ready, or just how
just like what have you four done specifically to put yourself in these positions?
Just learning off each other. I'm learning off Talik, Mike, Jack, and vice versa. We all just try to collect information from each one of us to add it to our toolbox or add it to our bag and just go out there and perform. Same thing, and just play our ball.
When Jack is the Jack, and he's standing up, is there like communication with you guys about where he's going to stand up and how maybe that affects how you guys are going to rush or how you guys are going to play if he's like in your gap or in your lane?
Yeah, our whole 11 defense is all communicating. We all got to communicate with each other, and it's just we always got to know where each other's at all the time.
How has that position helped you guys who are just normal defensive linemen going when that position is out there?
I mean, it helps us a lot because it's it's something new. It's either or. He can make the play, we can make the plays. Simple as that.
What's Taron's biggest strength as a defensive end?
Taron?
Yeah.
Oh man, I mean, you need that hole to be stopped. That's your man right there. And, he can do a lot more than that. But they've been double teaming, and I mean he hasn't been getting moved, and that's the heart of the defense right there.
Break it down for me as a D lineman. What's it take to beat double team like that? What's the technique involved?
Man, I can say mine, but I know for Taron, he taking on center and guard and tackle. I'm taking on tackle and tight end, but I think you just gotta be tough, and that guy right there is as tough as it gets.
What's his personality like?
Great. I mean, he high motor, and always making sure everybody's playing at their best.
He seems like a pretty upbeat guy.
Yeah, he's a leader.
When you guys have been playing as well as you have the last few weeks, what do you do to make sure you don't get complacent when you're going into a game like this where you guys are heavily favored?
Always working on things that we still need to get better at. There's, like I said, there's always things we need to grow on, and every time we go in that film room, we always got to critique them things. And like I said, it can be a great game or a bad game. There's always things we need to fix.
With their quarterback situation, how do you guys prepare for that? Because we've had so many injuries in that position.
You talking about for this week?
For Russell,
I think right now we're just focused on what we have to do, and just playing fundamental sound ball and staying true to our technique and our coaching.
What you've seen on video, what intrigues you about representing our offense?
There's a lot of
different, so to speak.
A lot of sneaky stuff, man. Rutgers is a sneaky good team. Playing against them last year, they run a lot of things, and you usually got to be on your toes for it. You always got to be ready. A great coach and just a great team. You guys have seen it. They do their stuff, and we just got to be ready.
A lot of the gadget moves, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you prepare for that, knowing you're going to be trick plays left and right?
Just got to stay fundamentally sound and stay true to your coaching and what you were taught all week.
JT, what is it about this defense that allows someone like you who plays actual defensive end position to do some things that maybe some people aren't always
Last question right here.
seeing take place on the field? Does that make sense? You know what I mean?
Repeat your question one more time.
So, what is it about this defense for a defensive end such as yourself that you guys are doing on the field that maybe the lay person that's watching the game isn't necessarily seeing take place?
Yeah, it's just allowing us to play free. Coach Knowles did a great job to having us trust in our abilities and just trusting us to go out there and just not to think and just have one or two simple tasks to do and just do it at full speed.
Has this game been fun to play, especially for you guys up front?
It's been
changed it up almost every play.
Yeah, it's been very fun. Coach Knowles is a very smart guy, as long as with everybody else that came in, and we just trusting in them right now.
All the way from Australia to do this because you're not getting a lot of action.
I mean, I'm happy winning, so yeah, I'll take it. Yeah.
In all seriousness, not getting a lot of attempts, does that put more pressure on you that every time you get out there, you feel like you got to make the most of it?
No, if anything, it's kind of the opposite, I guess. It's the same job every time, but having an offense, score points, and give us a comfortable lead most weeks. It's pretty comfortable going out there knowing that. It's in my eyes, it's the opposite. Some freedom to make a play, I guess. And yeah.
How do you think you've done? You've done it. In our opinion, I think you're well.
Yeah, no, I feel like I'm going all right. So yeah, happy. The team's been good. Fun unit's been good. So yeah, no complaints. Yeah.
Jesse, can you scoot up to the mic for me just a little bit?
Yep. You did that.
Jesse, you'll be going up against fellow Aussie and Adam Korsak.
Yep.
Have you talked to him before?
Yeah, we played against each other last year, and we speak pretty often. He sent me a message today, said he was looking forward to it. So yeah, he's a good dude and pretty good at what he does. So yeah, should be good fun. And yeah.
Did you ever pursue a professional career in that?
I played semi-professionally for a little bit, and pursued a professional career when I was a bit younger, when I was 17 kind of thing. I played at the level below NFL equivalent, I guess, but never made it to that next level, and just kicking was something I was always good at, a skill of the game. So.
And obviously Cameron Johnston came from the same program. What kind of things did he tell you about, Ohio State, going through that process, and then just like what did he teach you just in general?
Yeah, Cam's been great. He he told me like what kind of place it is, and that's a special place here, obviously, and it's a winning culture and stuff like that. And then Cam lives here most of the off season, so I get to work with him a lot, and definitely helps me in my game. Learning from him is probably one of the best in the NFL, and definitely something I appreciate. Yeah.
What was the deciding factor to transition sports, getting involved in football, and obviously making it?
Yeah, I just I've obviously always liked watching some NFL and stuff on TV, and then I was here on vacation in 2019 and watched a couple of guys I know play at some other schools, and I was just like, oh, that looks fun and something I think I can do, and I always wanted to play professionally, sport and stuff like that, and keep playing sport, and I thought give it a go and see what happens, and
how does watching NFL with different time difference? Is it just on later, or how do you
so noon or Sunday lunch games, noon games are kind of difficult, I guess. It's midnight back home, but Monday night football is Tuesday morning, and Thursday night it's a Friday morning, so it's the games I normally would try and watch if I had a chance.
So NFL for breakfast?
Yeah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
And did you ever think with football playing a different position, or was it just punting?
Punting was obviously the main thing. I mean, I always like to muck around and catch the ball. I used to catch the ball a lot in my Australian football and stuff, so I always joke about being a tight end, but everyone kind of shuts it down pretty quickly. So,
We talked with Bradley Robinson a few weeks ago, and he just mentioned how your personality, now that you're a year in at Ohio State, has become more outgoing, of course, since last year. But what's your relationship like with Bradley now that he's being the long snapper? How critical is special teams, and particularly for you? Have you seen Bradley? How is your relationship with him going?
Yeah, good. Brad's good. Obviously, we're on punt and field goal together, so we spend a lot of time together. And myself, Brad, and Noah all live in the same apartment complex, so we're all pretty close, and our families are all pretty close and stuff as well. So we spend a lot of time at football and outside of football together. So I'd say we all got a pretty good relationship. We all get on pretty well together. So
that's cool. Bradley would talk about trying to get the perfect snap, but there is no perfect snap.
Yeah.
Is he that hard on himself, or how much?
I mean, I feel like we all kind of pretty tough on ourselves like that. You're at Ohio State, so it's pretty high standards you got to uphold. Brad's always trying to get better. I'm always trying to get better. I'm always trying to get better. It's just how it is around here. You can't really settle it mediocre, I guess, or just good. You're trying to always get to as best as you can, I guess. So
I think a number of teams in the Big Ten too have also got punters from Australia.
Yeah.
How is your relationship with them? Do you guys communicate even though they're different?
Yeah, we all talk normally just before we play each other and stuff like that, and we get a photo after the game normally, and send it back to our coaches and stuff. So everyone's good guys. There's none that we don't like out here. We're all friends. So it's good. Yeah.
How long did it take you to learn the field goal stuff?
I kind of just started last spring, and it was again catching balls pretty natural. I've done that my whole life. I played cricket as well growing up, which is similar to baseball. I guess you catch the ball as well. And then just something I worked on again with Cam a bit as well in the off season last year, and then did it for a full season. And obviously another year later, it's I feel like it's working even better than it was before. And the operation for 2 years straight together, so it's pretty clean and smooth most of the time. So
JK, when did you see Jyaire, come in and be a guy that you would be ready to play this season?
I could tell by when he first got up here that he was different, just from the way he carried himself and how he compete every day at practice. Because when he first came in, I was staying with him, so I got to really know him and stuff, so it helped a lot.
What are the things that you see him do well in practice that gave you confidence going into the game?
He just compete, and he's not scared to go against nobody.
Can you skip up? One of the day we're talking about how you and Jyaire have literally not been practice over the last 10 months. How do you think that's helped your development and made you a little more ready to take the start against Wisconsin? You've gotten so many extra reps with guys.
Like you said, getting a lot of repetition, that's going to help a lot. So getting them reps was key to building confidence and going into the game and not being worried or having no doubt in myself.
What do you like about your first start? Something that you didn't like?
I was just out there. That's all that I really wanted to do. So I didn't really have no expectations but to just fly around and just do my job for real.
What did you like to find out that you started?
I ain't know really until the day of, so.
Do you expect to start this week, JK? I mean, what's just kind of the feel as practice is going on here?
I don't know. It's a game by game decision. So.
Are you still running with the ones out there? I guess is what I'm asking. Right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. What did that just do for you, just from a boost standpoint, and everything else, to be out there, first Big Ten game, you're out there starting, et cetera, Jair across the front. But what does that do for you guys from a confidence standpoint, a boost standpoint?
It just really built our confidence knowing that everybody believed in us to go out there, and that being our first start. So just having the team around us, that play a long way in it too.
Did not really being able to play much last year, did that make it more rewarding to get your chance to finally be a starter?
Yeah, I knew the time was going to come at a certain point. I just didn't know when, so it was just really being patient and waiting for the opportunity to come.
Obviously, you got the chance to play a good amount, against Arkansas State and Toledo, too. How much did that help you prepare for that Wisconsin game?
That helped a lot because getting real game experience is different than getting it in practice, like getting the calls in the game, just being in that environment.
What's maybe the biggest thing that you've noticed now that you have been out there for your first few college games that maybe was different than you expected?
Just the environment, how loud it can get, and getting the calls.
Do you like that? You enjoy playing in that environment?
Yeah, no, it's football.
We talked with Denzel, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm a trash talker." Jair's, I think everybody knows he's a trash talker. I guess, what's your kind of personality on the field?
It just depends how I feel. I mean, I talk if I want to. I just play for it depends.
Who are maybe some of the other guys who kind of helped you in that process? Like when you're getting ready to go make your first start, who are some of the veteran DBs that you're leaning on for advice?
Proctor and Rock. Probably asked them because before the game I wasn't nervous. I was just anxious, ready to get on the field. I just wanted to feel it. So
what did they tell you? What Proctor tell you? What did Ronnie tell you?
Just football, just have fun, go play.
That's as deep as it got.
I saw a lot of times out there on the field where it looked like those guys were coming over to you guys in the corners and kind of giving you guys advice during the game. Like, what were maybe the things that they're telling you when you're out there in the flow of a game?
It was just more of the communication, just getting the calls.
Were you nervous because they told you the day of that you were starting?
Not for real.
So where the nerves come from?
I wasn't nervous. I was just anxious. I was ready to play.
JK, does Jair have St. Louis swag, or do you and Cam have Cincinnati swag?
I got St. Louis swag. Jair got his own Louisiana swag.
Now, do you guys talk about maybe the different energy that you and him bring to the cornerback room? It seems like you have a little different. Let's just say you play a little angrier, I think, than some of the other guys do. Do you guys talk about that or feel that?
I think we all try to do it together, but I mean, it's different vibes with different people, so it just depends on who you are for real, I guess.
Obviously, you and Denzel came in the same class. He played a lot last year. Did you lean on him when you were preparing to make this first start?
I wouldn't say lean on, but I was asking something, maybe how I feel.
How much has he helped you kind of maybe get to where you are now with the experience he's already gained?
He helped a good amount, like all the other DBs in the room, just, competing every day and building a confidence within the group.
Where have you maybe grown the last 4 weeks now that it's not just practice, you're not just sitting because you're hurt. You got the chance to go out there and see it for yourself. You're not just the non-conference, but now Big Ten. Where are you better?
Just knowing how to do my job in the environment that we play in, so not getting fazed by the big things and just doing all the little things.
What are the biggest things that Coach Walton has taught you that have made you a better player this year?
Using my eyes. You got to see everything to be a good football player.
Is that something you weren't doing before? Is that something you weren't doing before?
Not necessarily that. I just wasn't as good.
Is there a sense, and not in a bad way, but like there being a little more weight on your shoulders and say Jair's, because the injuries are kind of starting to pile up a little bit, that you guys have to take on a little more responsibility, and maybe that's something that you look forward to or relish?
Yeah, I mean, more reps, and it's just gonna make us better. I wouldn't say it's nothing that what you say again? My bad.
Just basically like, because you guys are now being looked upon to get out there and not just start, but obviously play a lot. Is there maybe a little more sense of responsibility that you are feeling because of what's happened like the last couple of games?
Yeah, we got to step up. So, I mean, a little bit, but at the end of the day, it's all football. So you got to be prepared when your time comes.
And not even just on the field, but maybe even off the field too. Has there been a sense kind of in the locker room of you guys kind of having to take on a different role, or that's still kind of to the upperclassmen?
I wouldn't say upperclassmen, but it's the whole room in general. We all work on that, so we just try to get prepared.
JK, what do you like about playing corner?
I can press. I like pressing and getting in people's face.
So, what's more satisfying? Completely locking down your side of the field or getting an interception?
Both of them. I say both of them. I ain't got a favorite. Just do my job, don't let them catch the ball.
JK, what stands out about each receiver you face during practice? Because obviously a lot of people think Ohio State's receiving room's the best in the country. And going up against that, what do you see from the different guys that you're covering?
Some of them got speed, some of them got routes. Well, they all got speed, they all got routes. It's just how they play and how savvy they can get. So it's just very between the receivers for real.
You said you like to be physical. Somebody else who likes to be physical and someone that we've learned is very physical is Julian Fleming. What is it like when you guys go up against each other in practice?
Good competition like all the other receivers. They all got different ways of how they play, so he won bigger and faster physical receivers, so you got to get physical with him and just play football for real.
Thank you.
Hey Josh, I'll just ask you, every game it's been a different lineup of guys in the secondary because of injuries and whatever, and just the standards still stay the same. You guys still play pretty good defense. Just how difficult has that been to kind of rotate guys in and out, and how good's it been that it's turned out so good?
I wouldn't say it's necessarily difficult. One thing we do live on is next man up, and when your name is called, be ready to go. So, and that's what we live by. No matter what happens, no matter who goes down in that moment, next man up. Trust them and we're ready to go.
How impressed were you by JK and Jair stepping up, obviously a cornerback for their first starts?
I was very impressed. Just being a freshman, I know that's a lot. And then it being their first starts, it just puts a lot of pressure on them. But we just tried to make sure that we had those guys back and that they were confident in what they were doing and just ready to go and play.
Did you say anything to those guys in particular to kind of like calm their nerves or anything like that beforehand?
Like, I got you. Like, we are here. Defense got your back.
Josh, Sonny got to go out there and get some early reps too. Just your thoughts on Sonny and what makes him ready for reps like that so young?
Just his mindset. He wants to learn. He wants to get better, and he takes it all serious. So I expect him to get in there and do what he does.
Could you have skipped your entire senior year in high school and played as a freshman?
I don't think so. And that's just like, I don't know, he's different. Like, I call him a man-child. That's my nickname. He's built different, looks different. But all in all, like I said, like, he's very mature for his age. Like, he came in mentally like he was on it. Like, there was nothing like you had to show him, teach him anything.
When did he first stand out to you?
I say first week in camp for me, because I wasn't around a lot when he was first here. But definitely that first week at camp, I could just tell like how mentally different he was from all the younger guys.
Josh, when you say mentally different, like what do you mean by that?
Just processing the game, understanding the playbooks, and learning like different stuff you may not pay attention to as a young guy.
Josh, how do you help him on a night like last Saturday? Obviously, kind of a mixed bag result-wise for a guy getting a lot of his reps for the first time in his life. He hits that really dumb personal foul penalty and gets pulled out of the game, right? And doesn't go back in until it's well decided. Do you guys, as leaders in that room, have to talk to him? I mean, the coaches have said over and over he doesn't make the same mistake twice. But
Yeah.
what's your message to him in that situation?
Well, my message to him was just snap and clear. Play the next play. Don't beat yourself up about it. I know it's easy to go into that hole, but just try to lock in this next play and get it right the next time.
Josh, for you, I know you said you were physically ready at the start of the year, but you haven't played, in a while.
Mm-hmm.
How long did it take you to feel like yourself again?
I was telling a couple guys that the other day that that's probably the first time I actually felt like myself.
Wisconsin?
Yeah. As far as like running around and just feeling like myself, like I actually just felt different.
Why do you think that was, and what was holding you back before?
I'm not sure. I don't know if it was just my mindset or thinking or my body feeling a certain type of way, but I just felt like I got out there and played like myself finally.
You were very animated out there. You
Yeah.
made big plays.
That's me, having fun, jumping around, everything.
Now, Lathan didn't play last week. I mean, knowing that you were going to be the guy, did that have any role in it?
I actually didn't know.
You didn't
We didn't know. I didn't know Lathan wasn't playing, so that was a shock to me.
Okay.
I didn't know until like right before the game, so yeah.
How different playing a team like Wisconsin is your role as opposed to when you have the spread teams you guys see along with?
You don't have to necessarily worry about a lot of receivers, a lot of downfield routes. They use a lot of the tight ends, or just that Wisconsin's going to run the ball. They're going to try to get physical with you. So we knew it was going to be that type of game coming in.
So does that mean you're closer to the line of scrimmage than maybe you would be in another game?
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, week in, week out, game plan always changes, so you really never know.
Yeah, what do you like about what do you see about Rutgers that stands out to you, Josh?
I say just their tenacity. They play. They don't give up, and that goes with like Coach Shiano. I played with him my freshman year, and I know like he brought that mentality to Rutgers.
Does that give you a little added respect for Rutgers, knowing who their head coach is? I mean,
Definitely does.
Why is that? Go ahead.
It definitely does, because Shiano, he recruits dogs. I say that.
Yeah.
Like he wants to know that you're like when it's time to get gritty and dirty, like you're there, you're not running from it, you're not going to shy away from it.
Yeah.
I think that's what kind of mentality he took to Rutgers, and they kind of bought in. And over the years, like you can see, like they play with teams and they're not giving up a lot like they used to.
Yeah, they also look like a team that could pull anything out of the hat at any moment, right? How does that change? Just sort of like, how does it change your prep this week? Knowing the trick play every 3 plays sometime.
Just being ready.
Yeah, what does that mean though to you? I mean, just your eyes. I mean,
Eyes,
be aware,
technique, anticipating instead of reacting. So knowing your job, what may be coming, reading formations, just goes into all that.
What's the best thing you told Jyaire and JK before that start last week about? Because JK was talking about he leaned on you and as he said, Proc and the Rocket. That sounds kind of cool together. But for some advice and stuff. But what was the best thing you told him? You think?
Play your game. Don't think too much. You know what to do. You know how to do it.
Yeah.
Only man, it's you versus you. And like I told you at the beginning, we told him we had his back.
Yeah.
He knows that.
For you feeling like yourself, how good did that feel? Just to not just be out there and feel, but be who you want to be.
It felt great, actually. Yeah, I feel like that's what I've been looking for since the injury, or since coming back, just feeling like myself and playing like myself. And I feel like I finally got the chance to let loose and relax and just ball.
Was there a moment that it happened?
Not really a moment. I just kind of feeling that I felt going into the game. Like I just felt it deep down.
Does your body just feel different on a day like that when you said it was maybe the first time you felt like yourself? Do you just wake up that day like, okay, today doesn't hurt?
Not necessarily. I mean, that's some days, shoot, without this metal in my body, but I say it's just, I don't know, it's something, it's like excitement. Just going into the game, I get anxious.
Is that amplified in a game against Wisconsin, knowing that they're going to come right at you?
Oh yeah, definitely. It's amplified in any big game.
Would you ever turn that interception for a touchdown when Tanner got caught?
Definitely, I was messing with him after that. I told him I would have, but it's okay.
You'd just run straight ahead, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you guys, but I guess he thought he had cut back and blocked it, so he was trying to follow that.
Josh, go back to what you said you were feeling, though. Did it feel like you were flowing and triggering, I mean, what is that feeling like? I mean, is it just you feel like you're balling? How
It
would you
just
explain
feels like I know what I'm doing. I'm not rushing any reads.
Yeah.
I'm not nervous about anything, overthinking anything. I'm just playing.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Story of your career. You got your hands on a lot of them, can't pick them off. What do you need to do to get your hands on them?
Shoot, just keep doing my job. Plays will come, and I think that's probably been my biggest flaw as a younger guy. I was always expecting for the big play, looking for the big play, wanting to make that play, and sometimes I got out of position. So right now it's just staying in position and waiting for my chance when I get it.
How close, now that you've watched it a couple more times, how close were you on that?
I was a lot closer than I thought I was, and I feel like I could have stepped around it, but it's okay. Things happen. I just made a in-moment decision.
When you watch it again, are you still okay with it being a pass breakup, or are you really pissing yourself
No.
off?
I'm not okay with it, but I'm not mad that I got a pass breakup either. As long as he don't catch it, I'm good.
You had that green too. You were no score problem.
Oh yeah, a whole lot of green.
How many wins now do you think it is? I mean, like, every time it's like, yeah, you were close. How many do you think it is?
I couldn't even count, honestly.
But
I know.
You're gonna get one.
Oh yeah. I was talking to some of the guys here. I said last year, even though it didn't count, I was 100% on the season, so I'm going off of that.
When you get a pass breakup or you make a big play and then you hear that instant roar of the crowd, what's that like?
Shoot, it's just a boost of adrenaline, honestly. Once you hear the crowd, you just want to do more. You want to hear it some more, so you do whatever it takes to hear that again, get to that moment.
Jair, Coach Walton has this thing where he's always saying, stay ready, right? That's one of his things. How did you take that message over the last few months and make sure you were ready on last Thursday when you found out, hey, I'm starting that thing?
Right. I took it as it is, stay ready. We follow that model every day, prepare as if we're playing. So I just use that every day going into practice, staying ready as I'm playing that week.
You were not the guy that a lot of people in the recruiting world, obviously know who you are, and a lot of people don't. What does it mean to you to come in here as a freshman and have that opportunity as early as you have? Because I don't even think you would have anticipated that it was going to happen like that. I know you're confident.
Right. For me, I don't really, try to get into it too much extra. I just try to work as hard as I can, perfect my game, and I listen to everything Coach Walt. He's a great coach. I listen to everything he gives us, all the tools that he gives us, and I try to apply that to my game, and I just work hard every day.
You just play like somebody who has a lot of confidence in yourself. I know Brown has described that you have that self-belief. Do you feel like, I don't know, an aggressive player out there, a trash-talking mentality? What do you think? Because we've seen that before, like Cam Brown's got that, Damon Arnett in the past. Like, sometimes you need that edge.
Right. I think that confidence comes from just practicing every day, going against the best receivers every day, seeing the best that you can see, and then, getting those games like that or going against other opponents is kind of, neutralizes that because we see the best in the business every day in Zone 6. So I just try to use that to my advantage and, prepare as if nobody else we play is as good as Zone 6. So.
What did you think about the penalty there?
I mean, it was a bad call.
Did the ref
at
all tell you, explain to you?
No, he didn't. I didn't talk to the ref at all after that play.
What do you think of Ryan Day getting as animated as he was defending you, I guess?
That just shows the type of coach he is. He goes hard for his players, and he showed me that he had my back, and before going in the game, he let us know that he had my back and our back.
When you found out you were starting as a true freshman, what was going through your mind? What was your initial reaction?
For me, it was just taking all my practice tools and everything I do in practice and applying that to the game, thinking it's the same thing as practice, because here we practice how we play, we practice at a high energy, high speed, and me getting in that situation, it was just slow down and practice, go out and play how I practice.
There's one thing doing practice, at least here, with 100,000 people there. How nervous were you if you
I had a little nerves, but not too much. You know, like I said, just revert back to our training and our practice, and I felt confident in my game.
Were you actually out there talking to yourself, saying that to yourself?
Yes, sir. Coach Walt, he always preaches self-talk is the best talk. You know, having that self-talk and critiquing your own game and knowing the mistakes, knowing the little things you have to fix and the mistakes you make. So, yeah.
Did you feel like you were floating on air when you went out there? Did you feel like your shoes weighed 1,000 pounds? What did it feel like though to make that, first start?
Man, it was amazing. I'm just blessed. You know, it was a blessed feeling. Just everything.
But you know what I'm saying? Was it like you were floating, or was it like, wow, you don't want to make a mistake?
Like I was floating a little bit.
Yeah,
you know.
Yeah.
How many snaps did it take you to get comfortable out there?
Usually after the first play, I'm pretty comfortable. So probably I'll say one snap.
And they talked about it, Tim Morgan said it too. Like, part of the reason you were so ready is because you and JK legitimately have not missed a day at practice. Given the depth in the room, guys have been in and out of there. Did those maybe extra reps that you've gotten basically since January maybe more prepare you in a way that maybe you wouldn't have been had you showed up in June? And maybe you were just more like a fourth stringer.
Yes, absolutely. I feel me coming early in the spring, getting those reps every single day, getting better and listening to Coach Walt, the type of coach he is, picking his mind as early as I can. So that definitely gave me the advantage going in.
Last year, you watched Denzel be in a similar situation as you, where it's like, you didn't come in here expecting to start from day one, but then all of a sudden in a big game, he's thrown out there in the Big Ten game. Did you lean on him at all last week? Did he kind of give you any advice for how to maybe be a little bit more ready to start in the big game as your first start as a true freshman?
Yeah, absolutely. He just told me to go out there, play with confidence, do my job at the end of the day. As long as you know my job and just do my job, play with confidence.
Jair, maybe you were already asked this if you were on the start again. When did they tell you you were hitting the start? Kind of abrupt, like all of a sudden, boom, you're in.
Right. I honestly don't remember. It was later in the week though. So, but like I said, Coach preaches stay ready. So when I got my chance, when I got the opportunity, I was already ready.
You were born in Cincinnati.
Yes, sir.
You moved to New Orleans when?
When I was 4 years old.
Okay, so you don't remember.
Nah.
Then you moved back.
Yes, sir.
Why did you move back?
Just coming back to Cincy again. I actually have family in Cincinnati, so I moved closer to my brother and siblings, and then just getting used to the cold weather here. Honestly,
you were the first one in the class, and then you kind of just went about your business. And some people thought at times that maybe you flipped and go other way. You could have made that good market like you got. And now you're the first one in your class to also have like a real role in the game. So I don't know that it's kind of a coincidence. Is that kind of cool to see that kind of pay off on the other side? Under these circumstances.
Looking at it is, but like I said, I try not to get into things like that. I just try to work on my game as much as I can. Pick Coach's brain, Coach Walt, everything around this program. I try to take heed to.
He didn't recruit you. You were recruited by Knowles, obviously. What's it been like building that relationship with Walton over the last 9 months? What kind of stands out to you about that?
Coach Walt, he's a great coach, and he goes deeply beyond coaching. He teaches us a lot about life, and the things how to take care of our money, things like that we might not get from a coach a lot of the times. And so I try to be around him as much as I can. Like I said, pick his brain, taking the knowledge that he has, and just apply.
You guys take care of your money.
Right.
Normal for coaches to be doing stuff like that?
No, not that I know of. Not that I know of.
When did you feel comfortable in terms of, I can do this? Was it the spring, summer, training camp? You're going against obviously really good receivers. When did you kind of realize, I can do this?
For me, I had to say fall camp. Me taking that spring and making adjustments that I needed to make from the spring and coming into fall camp and applying those adjustments that I needed to fix into fall camp. So fall camp.
I would imagine the spring ball, you're coming in from high school and you got Jackson. How tough was that for you?
Man, it was a challenge, but I took on that challenge. I never shied away from that. So at the end of the day, that's only gonna get me better going against the best of the best every day.
When you're taking your lumps, it's okay to pay off.
I knew I had to learn from those mistakes that I did make going against those type of receivers.
How can you tell that Coach Walt has been in the league? What just comes out about him that tells you he's got that knowledge?
Coach Walt, he's a guru, man. Like he just comes off and the way he goes about his day, you know, how he moves around the building, that type of his demeanor is real business-like. So I could tell that was.
But in his interaction with you guys, does he notice details that maybe you never thought of before? I mean, how does that work?
Yes, he teaches us to lock in every little detail. So like things we may not have seen or things we may look over sometimes, he teaches us to lock in on those little details, because in times those little details can get you through the unscouted plays.
How much did seeing what Denzel did last year give you confidence when you got here that you could come in and have a chance to play right away?
It gave me a wait, can you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Seeing what Denzel did last year, how much confidence did that give you going into your first year that you could have a chance to contribute right away?
Just seeing him, you know, as a young freshman coming in and making an impact on his team, and coaches believing in him and being a freshman. So that gave me a little knowledge on that I can come in and make an impact.
And Tanner mentioned after the game about how, you know, one of the things that he really liked about you is you weren't afraid of whether it's Marvin or Julian or any of those guys going against him. Just, is there a moment maybe like going against those guys where you really realized like how good those guys are and how much better they can make you?
Every day we get after it every day. So whenever we getting after it, I see that, because good on good every play.
Did you have a welcome to college football moment against those receivers in the spring?
I can't remember.
I feel like we're playing pretty good. Everybody's executing like they're supposed to. You know, like with mistakes, we all grow. And the thing is that we just bring the energy. That's it. You just gotta start fast and just bring energy.
I know for you personally, obviously, you went through that illness a couple of weeks ago. How have you recovered from it, and what did you learn from that experience?
It was a hard week. That was a hard week, but I'm happy that I made it through, and I feel great now, and that's all that matters.
I wanted to ask you too about Taron Vincent a little bit. I know you go against him in practice probably a lot. What's his biggest strength?
He's a very explosive player. Iron sharpens iron. We always rep it every day, and that's how we get better. Everything he does is pretty good. Hand movement, technique. He's a great player.
One of his biggest strengths in the game seems to be eating those double teams, taking on multiple blockers at once. What, from your purview, what makes him good at that particular skill?
Just how he gets off the ball. He knows how to position himself and be prepared for blocks and how to shed blocks, and that's just one thing he's do. He does great. He just taught me like mostly like just bring the energy and just go hard. Honestly, like there's gonna be mistakes out on the field, but once you sit down, you actually know what the mistakes you make and just execute what you do. It's gonna always come back.
Does he create energy in a different way than other coaches you've had? It seems like
I could say the offensive line loves him, loves the energy that he brings. Everybody's willing to learn. Everybody's willing to grow together, and that's one thing I love about Coach Fryer. It was a pretty good game. I feel like we was really prepared for that week. Just the game plan and everybody execute well.
What does that do for your guys' confidence as you're trying to build momentum, all five of you, building momentum and building chemistry?
It's just repetition. No, we go over in practice, and whatever we do in practice, if we critique it, whatever, and then we just stick to what we do.
Coach Jay said a couple times yesterday that he felt like you guys were targeted much better as an offensive line. I guess some of those zone running schemes. Just like what does that mean to you when he says you guys were on target?
I think that means a lot. Kind of, you know what I'm saying. What we try to do is just try to start fast. That's what we try to do as the offensive line. Just bring that energy now and just go roll off the ball.
Coach Jay talked about, especially in the second and third game, playing an overmatched opponent. Obviously, you can get away with some things in those games, especially in the offensive line. When you go back and look at film of games like that where you guys just do dominate up front, how do you evaluate that without trying to get better, but you can get away with some things that maybe technique's not exactly what it needs to be? How do you kind of evaluate those?
We kind of just start from the basics, just knowing like the right footwork that comes to whatever we play, and just knowing like the little techniques toward things like head placement or hand placement. Like it's always little things we got to work on and grow together. But like once we roll off the ball together and we just fight through whatever. We're good.
Is it difficult in a game like that where you can kind of get away with some things? Maybe you're just bigger, stronger to continue to focus on the technique in the moment?
Well, Coach Farr always talk about rebite. So, sometimes you could be in an awkward position, but it's all about, like, rebiting, find a way to, anger yourself better to still dominate what you got to do. And that's what we try to work on every week and grow.
Matt, you play next to Luke every day.
Yeah.
The advanced numbers say that he's one of the best centers in the country this year. What's it like just being right beside him?
Luke is a very great player. I love the energy that he brings. He also, like, the communicating around all five of us is perfect. And that's one thing. If we gonna call a play, we're gonna execute it together how it's supposed to. And that's one thing he does. He just has that confidence, and he just brings it.
Does the rest of the offensive line have to buy into the center, in a different way than you have to buy into the other positions?
Yeah, most likely it's mostly that's buying into the center. Our plays are different than the quarterbacks, so it's all about how we communicate front.
CJ said that he's the president, Luke's the vice president. Do you even know what that makes you? Like, is there a hierarchy there?
I don't know what they got going on, but whatever they got going on, I don't know. But those two run the plays.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You talked about the chemistry and the communication between the five of you. Coach Dave brought up in his press conference that Coach Fry has done a great job of building that camaraderie. What has he done to facilitate between the five of you? Facilitate that between the five of you?
I could just say just bringing that energy and the connection that he builds with us is it gives us the confidence and just not being like timid or anything. To be able to walk in his office, or if anything we have struggled with or have second thoughts about, he's able to sit down and make sure we have it strategized great, and then yeah.
Was anything talking yesterday about you got here, you reached out to the cornerbacks immediately. Did Coach Fry do something similar with you? Like what was the first you heard from him, and how did that connect?
The first we heard from him, he just came in with open arms, and he was just bring the energy with as a coach. He was just willing to pour his heart out to us and just work as a unit, and that's something that a lot of us adjusted to and was happy to take him in as a coach.
Is there something he's shown you technically that makes you a better offensive lineman today than you were a year ago at this time?
I could say like a lot of it has to do with technique. That's something that we all kind of like struggled with, and that's something we actually grown and got better, a lot better.
Like what sort of technique? What do you feel like?
Just footwork, like how to initiate the block before it comes to you on certain plays. Yeah.
Has anything stuck out watching the Buckeyes this week?
I just feel like they're a great team. They always have something up their sleeves, so our antennas is always up to see what they have. We've been having a great week of practice, and we're just gonna execute and bring it.
By like up their sleeve, you mean like trick plays?
Trick plays, just defensive schemes, movement. Yeah. That's it. Thank you.
Last year, when we talked to you, you were working on Project Card.
Yeah.
How's the Project Card going? How's the baby doing? Any new updates on her?
Not so good updates. No. Kinda got into a little wreck with it, so yeah. It was raining and it just lost traction. Yeah. But hopefully I get it back in. I mean, it's still running. I just gotta get it fixed. That should be good.
Right now, due to supply chain issues.
Yeah, especially with practice going on, I gotta move that aside. Yeah. Yeah, I'll find a way.
Where do you keep that at?
I have a garage.
In a garage?
Yeah. That's it.
What's your favorite thing about playing next to Juwan?
No, they call us the Jones Brothers because we be able to communicate, we have fun, and we just bring that energy. And I feel like when we communicate, we could be whatever we want to be.
So they call you the Jonas Brothers?
The Jones Brothers.
Jones Brothers.
Yeah.
That was kind of like a take on the
No. That's it.
Ronnie, you guys have had, I feel like a different starting safety lineup every game just with some of the injuries and stuff. But all 6 of you kind of been in that mix have all played well. Like no matter who's out there, it kind of looks the same. Like how much pride do you all take in that, and what's it taking to get the room to that point?
It's huge. I was asked kind of quite a few times preseason, what is it like to have depth in the room, and this is one of the main reasons why it's such an advantage to have. Just because you never know who's going to be ready, you never know who's going to get injured, things like that. So just to be comfortable with anyone out there is just a huge benefit for us and our team.
In the room, is it competitive between all of you, or is it more like supportive, or like the guys that step up and do his job? Like, how do you all kind of motivate each other?
I think it's just a great combination of both. You know, we all kind of have a mindset we want what's best for the team, but at the end of the day, you know, as a player, as an individual, you want to compete and get the starting job, and you want to play. Just because we all have our own individual goals and aspirations, but I would say it's just a really good combination of both.
You've been the one guy that's been the constant out there in all those lineups. Do you feel that responsibility to make sure that you're really consistent and reliable, so the other guys can feed off you?
Yeah, for sure. You know, that's what's asked of you when you're a leader on a team, or especially on a defense, and especially in a specific DB room that I'm in. So whatever the coaches need from me and whatever the guys need from me as well, they know I'm there for them.
What have you seen from Jyaire just over the course of his first year to get to where he is now and be able to contribute for you guys?
I like Jaire's mindset. You know, since day one he's come in, he's always kind of had that edge to him, that kind of grimy edge, that hard-working edge. So I knew that when his time was called, when his number was called, that he was going to be ready.
Ronnie, I know you have faith in all your teammates. You see him every day in practice, but when it's true freshmen, whether it was Denzel last year getting thrown in there against Minnesota or Jyaire against Wisconsin, is there maybe a moment out there on the field when it kind of validates the belief you already had? Whether it's a play or just seeing it in their eyes that they're genuinely not scared to be out there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's a difference between doing it in practice and then when the lights are on in front of 105,000. But like I said, and like you said earlier, I've definitely had the faith in those guys, and I've seen them do it a number of times. So for them to go out there and do their job, it was just like, okay, I knew you could do that. Let's build up for them. Let's get better.
So as a veteran, when you see that moment click for them, I don't want to say you stop doing your job, because you're still going to communicate with them and be a hover for them as a safety is supposed to be, but do you kind of shut off some of that worry that maybe that might be a weakness out there on the field?
I would say a little bit more at ease, knowing that they can do it, like I said, in front of 105,000 people and stuff like that. But now it's just a matter of, okay, you've done your job, you've done that, let's get better on it and stuff like that.
Hey, Ronnie, can you scoot up?
My fault.
JK said that you and Josh were two of the veteran guys that he was leaning on as he was getting ready for that game. What are the things you were trying to tell those young corners to make sure they were prepared to play?
Mainly just stay calm and poised. A lot's going to happen out there, but we got to snap and clear. And whatever happens, you got to be ready for the next play. Our coaches do a great job of preparing them and stuff like that. So I wasn't really worried about game plan and their abilities and stuff like that. It was more of just, it's your first time out here starting, but you've been doing this all your life, so don't be surprised when you making the plays and stuff like that.
What was that moment? What was that moment in preseason camp or whatever when you noticed Jyaire might be able to answer this bell? If you know what I mean, where did it strike you that he would be capable of something like this?
Early, Jyaire, he kind of showed signs like Denzel. The first few times he was out there, you're like, okay, this guy, he got something to him, and Jyaire kept building off of that. So, I mean, since our offseason, I was kind of looking for Jyaire to coming in, because I wanted to see him live. I wanted to see him make some plays. So I'm just glad he got the chance to do it.
Yeah, and how would you describe it? Is it guts? Is it aggressiveness? How would you describe that edge that you see when a guy's got it?
Yeah, he's very aggressive, and he's willing to take a chance to go make a big play, and I think you need that in the corner. That's how you make the big plays and stuff like that, and that's what I like about Jyaire. He's not scared.
You're a leader of this team, right? What are y'all reinforcing this week? Rutgers are coming in. They're a prohibitive underdog, 39 points, where you even call it. I know you probably don't care about all that, but what are y'all just reinforcing as this week goes on?
Our competition is us. We come in and we come into this building and we try to be the best version of ourselves and beat who we were yesterday. That's been our mindset, this whole season, and we're just honing on it this week.
And what makes Rutgers dangerous? What have you seen from their offense that just you guys have to have an eye on?
They're creative offense. They like to do different stuff. They like to give you, the unbalanced looks, just the weird looks they're not so traditional in offense. But you stay true to your cues and have good eye control, you'll be good.
We talked with Tanner after the game last week after he got his interception. Just to see him get that pick, how relieving maybe was it for him since he was coming to Ohio State his first year coming over from Oklahoma State? How relieved was he? Maybe how happy was he after getting that interception last week?
It's huge, making plays in an environment like that, that many people watching, and for Tanner, like you said, with him being a transfer, I was just glad he was able to do it on the biggest stage. I had nothing but joy and excitement for him, and now it's just a quest to get another one for him.
What did you think on the offensive side of the ball for Mecca to just play the way he has been playing? going up against him in practice, what do you see maybe differently about him now that he's showing more of his receiving skills this year? Last year was a lot of returning, but what do you think about him?
It's no surprise. Like the stuff we're watching the game on the side, it's like, yeah, we've seen that. Yep, seen that too. So like it's they play great, but we've been seeing this since those guys got here. So it's just a matter of them going out on Saturday and doing their job, which I'm sure they're going to be able to do each week.
When you say you've seen that, what about his game is that you've seen before? When you say that,
the way Mech is very elusive. He knows how to use his body to get in and out of routes, getting in and out of breaks, and especially when you're pressing him and stuff like that. He has a pretty big toolbox they can use. Him and Jackson, our interior guys, they have a really big toolbox, so they're just able to use different moves and different ways to create space from the defender.
Right, we know that Julian's been through some tough times physically his first couple of years, but to see him out there playing like he's playing, physical. I mean, what does it just tell you about this guy? I mean, do you admire him? I mean, how would you describe him?
It brings a huge smile, not to just my face, but the other guys, on the team who've been here for a few years, because what he's been through, the little injuries, but but you've seen the potential that he has and how good he is. So I'm just super excited for him, and I hope he stays healthy and is able to keep making plays for us.
How close? What do you think Sonny's got to be able to get on the field like he did last week?
Mental. Obviously, physically he's got the ability, he's got the speed, he's got the strength and stuff like that. But for a 17-year-old to come in and kind of mentally get a grasp on things, I think that's huge. Not a lot of kids can do that, especially on the biggest stage in college football. So I think he's done a great job mentally as far as understanding the playbook and stuff like that.
When did you know he could kind of pick that stuff up pretty quickly?
When I seen him calling stuff out in the meeting room and knowing, he might not have said it out loud, but I knew he knew the answer. So once I seen him able to do that stuff, once he was able to evaluate formations and stuff like that, I knew he was going to be good. Because it's physically, that's nothing for him. So it was all mental.
Rutgers has had some quarterbacks dealing with injuries. How do you kind of prepare for that when it could be any one of 2 or 3 quarterbacks playing?
Well, you watch the film on all of them, and you prepare for all of them.
Ronnie, how close is this defense to being right where you want to be?
We got a long ways to go, regardless of what the score says and stuff like that. Well, we know what we're capable of, and when we get back on the film the next day and we hone in on our mistakes, we still feel like we have a lot of room to improve, and we plan on doing that.
Ronnie, the play that Tanner made at the end of the half, where he got that pass break up on the shot play, I think the degree of difficulty was a little hard to appreciate in the moment. But when you watched it back, what did you think of that play?
I mean, I was watching it like I was vertical too, so I was carrying the vertical of 2. So I got to watch the whole thing, and I was literally like, what a play. One, because I knew he was kind of battling his groin a little bit, so I knew it was going to take a little extra for him to do that. And after the play, you can see he kind of took a knee. I'm like, you made the play, it's okay, we went into the locker room now, that kind of thing. But that was probably one of the better plays I've seen live on the field in game. Definitely, up there.
A couple more questions for Ronnie. When Sonny Styles finally showed up, how did he approach it? I mean, did he go around shaking everybody's hand, hey, blah, blah? Did he show up quiet? You know what I mean? I mean, how did he kind of work himself into the groove, so to speak, of the group?
Head down, and he was ready to work. Sonny was a hard worker from the jump. And like I said, we all knew what he was capable physically. I think the hardest part was the mental thing, was the playbook and stuff like that. But he was willing to do the extra work, meet extra with the coaches and get that stuff down pat.
You're playing behind Tommy Eichenberg. He's gotten like 2 Big Ten Pro defensive players of the week. Is he different this year? It just seems like he's playing with more aggressiveness compared to last season, his first year as a starter. What have you seen from Tommy getting to play with him?
I mean, that guy's just fast, and he's probably one of the better defensive players in the country right now. Just the way that guy's able to realize what the play is and then go find the ball and make an open field tackle one-on-one with just him and the running back is something that you got to appreciate as a safety, because a lot of those times that ball can spit up to you and you can be left with 15 yards and just a one-on-one tackle with the running back. But there's been a lot of times where I'm running down the alley and thinking I got a tackle, and then boom, Tommy's right there to make the play. So I love it though. I'm really, really excited for him.
Do you ever catch moments where he's the captain, obviously? So do you ever catch moments where he does stand out as a leader? Does he have a saying? Does he have anything that keeps his linebackers?
Oh, I mean, you ask anyone on this team, once when Tommy's talking, we're listening. You ask anyone who would they take in a dark alleyway, and they're saying Tommy Eichenberg. So it's that kind of thing. When he talks, we listen.
Because he doesn't talk much, does he?
Yeah, it's not much. So you know when he's saying something, it's real.
I'm not disputing necessarily that he's fast, but is some of this also the way that Jim Knowles is using him?
Oh, most definitely.
This year? Like, it seems like it's unlocked something.
Yeah, most definitely. Coach, I've said it plenty of times. You know, Coach Knowles wants us to play fast, and he wants us to play offense on defense. And I think Tommy is a huge example of that. The way he's running through gaps and stuff like that.
You led the team with 100 tackles last year. Are you okay having a linebacker lead the team tackles?
I think that's how it's supposed to be. So, yeah, I am okay with that.
That's the model, right?
Yeah.
So you're not annoyed at all that he's
not at all.
Not
at all.
All right. The best game against Wisconsin today. You didn't have the tackle. I wonder, does that mean something to you to get that kind of praise for a game, or does it necessarily come with that kind of production?
Yeah, I mean, it just comes with my job as a 3-tech. I know I'm getting a lot of double teams, so all the double teams that I'm able to hold off, the linebackers are able to scrape off me and make plays. So most definitely, yeah.
Did you feel it was one of your better games?
I mean, yeah, maybe I'm doing my job every play. That's all I can give to the team. All they can ask from me. So yeah.
What'd your dad think of your play?
Shit, he ain't say nothing after that game.
I was gonna say, man.
He already knew what it was. I was talking mess to him in the middle of the game. He was sitting right behind the sideline, so he knew every time we score, every time we got a turnover, he already knew. Yeah.
What was that meal like? Well, you didn't eat a meal at midnight, did you? Y'all didn't go out to eat at midnight.
Yeah, nah.
Yeah.
But just the phone call afterwards was just, he already knows. Buckeyes over the Badgers every day.
Yeah. Okay, what is your take on this defense now, 4 games in? You know, we're always trying to find a barometer about how you guys feel about it, the confidence y'all have built, just compared to coming out of last year and stuff. But how would you rate the confidence of 7 in this game?
I think the confidence is through the roof. We all trust Coach Knowles to put us in the best positions to make plays, and everybody believes that to the fullest. So I think this confidence is through the roof right now.
Talking about being a 3-tech, we also see you got 3 defensive linemen. You're right up over the center. How are you liking that as well as part of your job?
That's cool too. I'll do whatever the team needs me to do. It causes movement for the O-line, confuses them a little bit. So yeah, I like it too.
Tom, have you seen yourself get better on film? Did we see it compared to last year? What you're doing out there?
Yeah, physically, I know I'm holding my gaps down, and my speed off the ball is better. So yeah, all around, yeah, most definitely can.
It seems like Mike's getting a lot of attention in the moment. Have you seen anything that is that okay with you? You're perfectly fine with just kind of playing the game, not really getting a lot of the attention?
Yeah, most definitely. I mean, I'm just doing my part. All I can do is make the plays that come to me while I'm doing my job. So, yeah.
Taron, we're so used to seeing Ohio State's defensive line kind of penetrate as quickly as possible and get outfield, but it seems like this year you guys are doing a better job of, like you said, holding your gap, knocking those offensive linemen back. Is there anything different in terms of how you're playing style-wise up front this year?
No, not really. I think we're just trying to get off the ball as fast as we can and move the line of scrimmage every play. So I feel like that was the same as last year. We're probably doing it a little bit better this year.
How often are you in a 2-gap situation as opposed to a 1 gap? I mean, how often do y'all change that up a lot, or does it happen much at all? You know what I mean? Where you stalemate a guy.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
By, you know?
A little bit. I mean, that's part of some plays I'm doing that, some plays I'm not. So it all depends.
But have you gotten better at both techniques? I mean,
it's definitely 2 techniques I'm confident in playing in. So fitting just 1 gap or fitting 2 gaps is definitely confidence.
G. Scott was talking about this in his position at tight end, where he kind of learned that he can not have a catch and it still be a really good game for him. As a defensive tackle, is there any adjustment you have to make where maybe you don't get a tackle or a sack, but you do your job and you still have a really good game?
Yeah, definitely. When I seen Tommy being successful every game, I know I'm playing a part into his success because I'm eating up double teams. So most definitely did. So I'm cool with my job. I know because as long as the team's being successful, my teammates being successful, the success is I'm successful as well too. So it's just I don't get my name called on TV. So that's pretty much I see it.
So how many of those 14 tackles that Tommy had are yours?
Give me 11 of them.
In hockey, you get an assist, right?
Yeah.
What is the game you guys play on Fridays called?
Best of Fridays. I don't even know. It's like a little tennis ball game. It's like basketball. Coach Jay, my partner every week, so we catch a dub. So yeah.
You and Coach Johnson?
Yeah, me and Coach Jay.
Nobody else has anything for you guys?
Nah, Coach Jay is probably the best player I've ever seen in that game since I've been here.
What is the point?
I think if you shoot it, that's 1 point, and then if you shoot it and make it in off one bounce, it's 2 points.
I think that's because he has a lot of experience.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, he's been playing it forever.
Is he a 2-point guy or is he a 1-point guy?
He can give you anything for real. So yeah.
With the way the linebackers are playing, it seems like they're much higher than the last 2 years. How much does that help you, knowing that maybe you get a little bit out of it, but Tommy's your leader? Maybe you do your job on one side, but Steele cleans it up on the other side. Like how much easier is it for you?
It just gives the whole defense confidence, the whole defensive line confidence, knowing that I'm fitting my gap, but I know that the linebacker's flying downhill and shooting his gap. So it's just playing team ball.
How are you liking? What have you learned about Jim Knowles since he got here to this point? Like, what have you learned most about him?
Coach Knowles is a cool coach. Like, you can talk to him if you have questions about the defense, what we're doing, how we're doing it, why we're doing it. He has all the answers for you for those questions that you have for him. So I feel like that's something new to me because I feel like I really didn't have that in the past. But this year I definitely just feel more open with Coach Knowles, coming to him about questions or anything about the defense.
Do you still have questions about the defense, or do you?
No, I'm confident. I know it works, so I have nothing to say.
How's the defense evolved since that first game against Notre Dame to now?
Just confidence, just putting it on tape and knowing that we can do it. Defense can win games. So I think it's just a confidence booster for all of us.
How have you evolved since Notre Dame?
My confidence is through the roof. I just feel like double team, single block, none of us on the D-line can be blocked. So that's how I feel.
He did seem to be doing a little bit of talking before the game. You said anything back to him about it?
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't much for him to say to me. Just knowing that he had to take that L and wear it proudly. So yeah.
What kind of things have you learned from him in these situations? Obviously, about playing. You've been in the Big Ten for 5 years, but just the things that you've learned from him.
Just not getting like overly emotional for the games. Just like showing up to the games, the best version of me is enough. So that's all I need to be worried about when going into games. So I think I learned that.
Did he say he'll see you in December, like for a rematch?
I mean, he hasn't really said much. That L hurt. I don't think anybody was expecting that. So.
And speaking of things that maybe people weren't expecting, I think a lot of people didn't expect you guys to be able to run the 4.25 against Wisconsin and handle the run. How confident were you guys going into that would be enough?
We're very confident. Just we show up to practice every day. We see the results we're getting at practice, how hard everybody's working. So the confidence was just 100% going into that.
Why were you able to do that as a team?
I think just from the work we didn't put in from right after the Rose Bowl, spring ball, winter workouts, summer workouts, just seeing the evolution of the whole defense working, everybody getting better every week and every day.
From what we've heard about the culture and the mindset here, I can't imagine this does, but when you're playing a team that comes in like Wisconsin with a highly touted, let's just say running back for this example, or a wide receiver, or whatever it ends up being, does that change how the defense prepares for the week? Do you focus more on whatever they're good at, or is it just all around?
I think we just focus on ourselves, what we need to improve on as players and as a team. So we don't really look at our opponent that much. We just focus on each other.
Is that scout team's job?
Yeah.